Hello and welcome back. Today I am doing my October favourites for you. It's going to be a try-on style of video because basically I'm running out of time today and I was like, I don't want to do my makeup and then film a video. Let's just combine the two because I'm going to be speaking about a ton of makeup products anyway. It makes sense to show you how they look on the skin as I'm talking through them. So it's going to be a little bit chatty. And then I do have a couple of hair products that I want to talk about, plus some perfume that I've been trying out that I've been really loving. So I think let's just get into it, huh? So as always, I'm really hot in this room and I'm sweating even though it is almost November. The first thing I'm going to mention is, in case, I don't think I'm going to use it right now, but in case I forget to use it at the end, I'm going to mention it now. This is the Pixi Glow Mist. I've talked about this quite a few times before. This is my second bottle of this and you can see I'm already like halfway down. I really love this as a makeup setting spray or like a glowy setting spray. Basically as a cruelty-free alternative to MAC Fix Plus. I never found something that worked quite as well as MAC Fix Plus when I switched to cruelty free. I did really like the Cover FX dewy setting spray for a while, but I prefer this. I think it's cheaper. It's definitely not too expensive and you can often find it on like a sale or a discount. And it really does make your skin glow, but not too much. It just kind of melts all the makeup into your skin. It is basically infused with argan oil, and when I heard that before trying it, I had heard a lot of things about it, but I was always put off trying it because I was like, I don't want to be spraying a load of oil on my face. I feel like that's going to break up my makeup, but actually it really doesn't. It really just like helps melt everything together, very similar to how MAC Fix Plus did as well, and also adds a nice glow to the skin. So if you're kind of debating whether to try it, I really do recommend trying it if you like a glowy setting spray. If you want to be mattified, that is not the one for you, but as you know, I'm all about the dewy skin. So I'm not going to spray it yet because I feel like I've already got quite a bit of glow to my skin, but I may use it at the end. I often like to use it at the end after I've powdered and stuff if I'm doing a bit of a heavier face. So we'll see how it goes. This is the foundation that I want to talk about today. This is the Milani Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation and I am in the shade 170. It did take me a while to find the right shade. I bought another shade of this before which was much lighter. I think it might have been like 120. And on the swatches online, this looks really dark, almost like it would be for medium skin, but this is perfect for my skin tone. So I think I spoke about this before when I first got it, maybe about a year ago, and then I didn't use it for months. I switched to my Urban Decay Tinted Hydrator, and that was really like serving its purpose for me. Like, I love that thing. I still use that a lot, but actually, now that I've pulled this back out, I really have been enjoying it. I've been using it almost every day. I literally just put one pump directly onto my makeup brush. This is the Zoeva Grand Stippling brush. And I will just kind of spread it all over my face and then blend it in. And it literally looks like skin. It wears so well throughout the day. It's not going to be super full coverage, but it gives enough just to kind of smooth everything out, make your skin look a bit more even. Some foundations, when they wear throughout the day, when they wear off, they kind of wear off in patches. So some areas will be like no makeup on your face and then some areas will still have makeup on your face. This does not do that. It wears super evenly. It looks like your skin. It's not going to be super long lasting. Like, I probably wouldn't wear this as like my evening night out foundation, but for a daytime foundation. And now that we're coming out of summer and I don't want to look quite as dewy, but I still want to look like I have a healthy glow, I really like this. I mean, the actual foundation I think is supposed to have blue light, a digital blue light filter. I don't know if it does anything fancy like that, but just in terms of like a good staple foundation that you can rely on and is not going to look too heavy. This is a really nice one. And then what I have been really loving is the Xxx Revolution Concealer. So this I bought like a month ago now, and I've been using it a lot, and I really wanted to compare it to the Ouai Beauty concealer because it sounded like it would be a good kind of dupe to that. And I do think it is very similar in terms of the coverage that it gives. It's a little bit more mattifying than that one. It doesn't feel quite as skin-like, but it's very, very close. And I think anyone who doesn't want to spend the money on the Ouai one straight off the bat, this is a really, really good one to try if you're looking for a drugstore version. This shade is the shade CX1. It is a little bit light. It's very brightening under my eyes. It's okay, it works fine. Like, I can use this shade, but I probably, if I was buying it again, I would go for a slightly darker shade. I will just say, make sure that your under eyes are nice and hydrated. So be using, like, if you're using your eye creams and stuff, to just, yeah, make sure that it doesn't mattify and kind of look dry under there. I haven't found that, but I do use a night cream most mornings and most evenings. If you've watched some of my videos recently, you will probably recognize a lot of these products, but especially this Melt blush. I use this in a tutorial or like a autumn makeup look that I did recently, and oh my gosh, I love this blush. This is the Melt Cream Blush in the shade Sandy Cheeks. It is the most gorgeous autumn orange toned, but not too neon orange. It's like the perfect amount of pigment. It looks kind of nude on me, but definitely got those terracotta undertones. It's kind of peachy. It's just like, it just looks great on my skin tone, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I really, really love this. I am way more into cream blushes these days. I think probably most people are. It's definitely very trendy right now, but this has been something that I've just been reaching for the majority of times I do my makeup. If you find that cream blushes wear off really quickly on you, or when you blend them in, they kind of blend away to nothing, definitely try these Melt ones, because these are like some of the most pigmented and they have really good staying power, and I don't find that they kind of just blend into nothing when you blend them out. Like, you can use a tiny amount, blend it out, and it still looks like you've got a decent amount of blush on your face. I don't know if I've mentioned this in a favorites video this year, but I've been using I've actually hit pan on the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. This is a great staple powder, but it is like really good at mattifying. It adds a tiny hint of coverage and it blurs everything out, and it is pretty glowy as well, so it doesn't kind of make your face look really dry and stuff, and it wears really nicely throughout the day, and it helps my makeup last longer too. So yeah, I use this a lot, and I do want to try that Kosas like cloud set powder, but I feel like if I run out of this, I do really want to repurchase this, because I think this will be a really good wedding day powder to use. So I'm debating. If you've tried the Kosas Cloud Set, let me know what you think, and if you think it would be a good wedding day powder to last, you know, from like 10 in the morning till midnight and have your makeup look nice in photos. Next thing I want to mention is, and again, I think I have mentioned this in previous favorites videos, but it might have actually been last year now that I mentioned this. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade Sunlight. This is just such a good bronzer. If you're a similar tone complexion to me, if you have red hair and you're pale, this is a great shade. You can't overdo it. Like, you can swirl your brush, you can pack it on. I do just always do that just to be safe, but it never looks too much. It just doesn't. It's a good contouring shade, but it also adds some warmth to the face. I just always go back to it. It doesn't add a ton of color, but if you're really fair, then it can be hard to find bronzer that isn't too orange or too red or too intense. And this, like I say, you can really load the brush up. You can't go wrong with it. You're not gonna overdo it. If you feel like you have quite a heavy hand with bronzer a lot of the time, this is a really great one to try. And yeah, I just keep going back to it. It doesn't skip, it blends out really smoothly, and I love it, basically. Oh, I did want to mention as well, this blush, which I obviously didn't use today, but I don't think I've spoken about in a favorites video. This is the Ilia Cream Blush Stick. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but it's in the shade Dreamer. And it's basically kind of a similar undertone to the Melt blush, but it's much darker and deeper, and it looks like more of a kind of sunburn on the skin when you blend it out in a good way. This is one that does kind of blend out to nothing and you have to build up, but I was wearing this a lot during the summer months. Like, this was like my go-to blush. I was wearing it pretty much every day. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to mention, which is probably the newest thing in my collection I'm going to talk about, but I've been using it so much. This is the Glossier Monochromes. So I bought this probably like 2 days after it came out because I was like, this is screaming my name. This is going to be like the moment that I discover I love powder eyeshadow again. Like, this is it. I got the shade Almond. They have quite a few different shades, but the concept behind this palette is that you basically have the same shade, but in 3 different finishes. You have a matte, a satin, and then you have like a glittery topper. I was kind of debating between different shades. They have quite a lot of like really warm, rusty tones that I think would look so pretty, but I have a lot of those already in my collection in other palettes and stuff. So I thought this looked like the most unique to my collection, but also that I could get a lot of wear out either in the daytime or in the evening. You can kind of do a lot of different types of looks with it. So you could like just wear the matte all over your lid in the daytime and then take it to night, put the shimmer on, put some eyeliner on, you're good to go kind of thing. I am someone who has been wearing liquid eyeshadows. I love the Kosas 10-second eyeshadow in Globe. I love the Charlotte Tilbury cream eyeshadow pots. I've been wearing those pretty consistently as like basically the only eyeshadow sort of thing I would wear for like a year now. I just was over powder eyeshadow. But these, because you don't have to look in a massive palette, try and work out what shades you want to wear out of it. Oh, I stand corrected. I would wear like powder eyeshadows from little quads and stuff, which this is obviously very similar to that. I just like not having a lot of choice and kind of being directed towards what sort of look you're gonna do by what shades are in the palette. So this is like perfect for me. And I also really love the fact that with a liquid eyeshadow, when you blend it out, especially like a shimmery liquid eyeshadow, you put it on the lid, you blend it out in the crease, and it almost looks like you're wearing a different eyeshadow color in the crease because of the way that it catches the light and stuff a lot of the time. So I really like the easiness of that because it's literally one shade, but it has so much dimension to it that it looks like you're wearing more than one shade. And this is basically that in a palette form. And you have the choice of just wearing a matte shade if you want, or you can just layer it up, or you can just wear the glitter shade, or you can just wear the shimmer shade, and you have options. Whereas with a liquid eyeshadow, it's like, that's what you're gonna get, what's in the tube. For someone like me, this is a genius idea. I absolutely love it. I know a lot of people have been like, oh, why won't you just make it a quad? Or there've been kind of mixed reviews of these online, but for me, for my purposes, for what I like to wear on a day-to-day basis, this is perfect. So I normally will take the satin shade, which is the bottom shade here. It has a little bit of shimmer. It's almost like a bit more wet looking. Like, it doesn't really have a sparkle or anything, but it just adds a little bit of dimension and a little bit of light to the center of the lid. So I normally will like press that in like that. This is kind of described on their website as a rosy nude, and I think that's a perfect description, or a rosy brown, something like that. It's kind of like the amount of depth I would use as a contour shade, so it gives that very like natural look to the eye, but it's got definitely a bit more of a rosy undertone. It's not like a true brown. And then the shimmer shade, so I kind of wish that this had a little bit more sparkle to it. I wish it was a little bit more like the Charlotte Tilbury topper in the quad that I love, which is, I'll show you in a second. But this one I feel has a bit more base color to it, so it doesn't have as much of that like sparkly. It still looks really, really beautiful, and it does give that wet look to the lid. It doesn't give as high of an impact as, for example, when I use that Charlotte Tilbury topper all over the lid. So I have actually before done this exact eye look and then pressed the Charlotte Tilbury topper over this, and it just like gives even more sparkle. It's really, really nice for a night out makeup. This shade is what I'm talking about there. Well, first of all, it's a different color, so it's way more champagne. It's not gonna pick up on a swatch, but basically when you put it on the lid, it's a lot more sparkly, and the sparkles kind of sort of scatter all over the lid. So I do really like that pressed over the top of this, but to be fair, this is such a gorgeous eye look, and I have gone out just, you know, in the evening just wearing this, and then a little bit of eyeliner on my top lash line. I just ran a little bit of the matte shade under my bottom lashes, just to kind of bring the look together. And then I wanted to mention this by Beauty Bae Eyeliner. I, again, have spoken about this in recent videos, but I just think for the price, this is like, I think it's £3 on sale, and maybe £5 not on sale, but they always do sales. So definitely wait till they're doing a sale to grab it. It's like easy enough to blend out, but it stays in place. Like it will not budge once you have it set down. So you need to work quickly with it, but I love that. I love that you can just rely on it and you know that it's gonna stay all day on your lid. And I have the shade Coffee. So I do want to give a shout out in the favorites video to the Glossier Lash Slick. I did mention this in my previous favorites, but I think I've gone through 3 tubes of this now. I love this mascara. It is the best lengthening mascara I've ever used, but it's not great if you want like a lot of impact. It really makes your lashes look long and fluttery, but it doesn't add a ton of volume. So I decided to go back to the e.l.f. Keep Your Curl mascara. I talked about this a lot last year, and it's I think £5 a tube, and it's so good. It gives that length and the definition. It definitely isn't as fluttery as the Glossier Lash Slick, but it does really, really give a very nice look to the lashes. So I have been loving this recently. I love this mascara as well because it doesn't smudge at all. Again, I'm trying to like find what would be the best mascara for my wedding day. I'm not getting married till next July, but I like to be prepared. So I'm just starting to like think about products that I could use on the day. I think I am going to be doing my own makeup just because I really enjoy doing it. So for lips, I actually have 2 different lip gloss formulas I wanted to mention, and 3 lip gloss. So the 2 in one formula that I have are the by Beauty Bae lip glosses, and these are just their regular creamy lip glosses. They don't have any shimmer in them. I think they do like shimmery lip glosses as well. But these ones I have in the shade Ballet and Slippers. Ballet Slippers. So one is a really pretty pink nude, and one is a really nice kind of light beige nude. I've been wearing both of these a lot. I do swatch them in my like autumn makeup video if you want to see what they look like. But the one that I wanted to wear today and talk about is the Red Apple Lipstick lip gloss, and this is in the shade Tiny Dancer, and this is the most perfect like brown toned nudie gloss. It makes your lips look so juicy, so wet. It's so comfortable. It's great that you know the ingredients are all a lot more clean and stuff. that is all the makeup products. I will quickly mention, seeing as it is a favourites video and not a makeup video, I will mention the hair products that I've been loving. So I wanted to first mention this dry shampoo. This is from Revolution actually, and I had seen they'd done hair products, but I wasn't really that interested in trying them until I went to a festival and I needed a dry shampoo because, you know, showers aren't really a thing at festivals. I picked this up honestly because it was cheap and it had fairly decent reviews. This is the Revive shampoo and it says it's for daily use. It has caffeine and baobab in it, and it says it's for normal to oily hair, and it doesn't have any talc in it. It obviously is cruelty-free and vegan. I've almost used the whole bottle, and if you are looking for a good cruelty-free accessible dry shampoo, like this will be available on a lot of different retailers and stuff, especially online, and it's really cheap. I got mine from ASOS. I have free next day delivery with ASOS, so I literally just placed an order, it came the next day. So easy, and yeah, just a really good one if you're not particularly bothered what dry shampoo you use, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't really leave a white cast in my hair, does a good job at making my hair feel refreshed, and it smells really nice as well. It smells kind of fresh and clean. That's kind of how I would describe it. So it's not too floral or anything like that. And then the other hair product I recently have been kind of testing out, because I've never used something like this before, but it is the Ouai Matte Pomade, and I picked this up because I really love on other people the kind of like slicked back pony look, and this is supposed to be really good for this. If you are a Love Island fan, you will know that Mary from Love Island, her hair looked so good. She always wore her hair like really slick back in like little pigtails or like a high pony. She made a YouTube video about how she does her hair for Love Island, how she did her hair for Love Island, and she said that she always uses this when she does her slick back looks. So I had to buy it and see if I could get a similar look, and actually I've been really enjoying this. You only need a tiny amount. I don't really like the look of gel because I think it can make your hair look quite greasy. The thing I like about this is because it's a matte pomade, it doesn't make your hair look as greasy, and it also brushes out really well. But don't use too much of it, because the first time I used it, I got like a big ball of it in my fingers and I rubbed it all like on my hair, and my hair was literally like crusty straw. Even after I shampooed my hair, I could still feel a bit of it in my hair. So just go easy with the amount you use and build it up rather than go in with loads off the bat. So I find it really hard to find cruelty-free perfumes that aren't crazy expensive, and the ones I'm about to talk about are crazy expensive, but they're from Jardin. I think that's how you say it. And I just got the little tester kit. And actually, these have lasted me a really long time. There's a lot of different scents in here. You can use them like 4, 5, maybe 6 times and still not have run out. So I will say that like I think it is good value for money. Again, the reason I got this is because I'm trying to find a perfume for my wedding day. I want something a bit more fresh because it is going to be a summer wedding, and I really like the one Incense Water, and Adam really likes that one too, so I feel like that would be a good wedding day one. It's kind of like fresh, and I don't know how to describe it. I think it's got rose in it, but it's not overpoweringly floral, because sometimes I don't like floral perfumes because I find they can like catch at the back of my throat. I also really love Tiger by Her Side, which is a cult favorite, and it's really nice. It's very like deep and I don't know, sexy, like evening. I mean, you can look up the notes, but I would say those are my 2 favorites. That is everything that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for sticking with me if you have watched to the end. I know this was quite a long video, but I enjoyed just sitting and chatting and doing it a little bit different by putting my makeup on whilst talking you through the favorites. I hope that you enjoyed it. Yeah, and let me know what products you have been loving in the comments. I would love to see what your favorites are. So I hope that you are doing well and taking care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.